had that glow. You know, the one you have when you meet the love of your life at a wedding in Hawaii, and he wants to make you his forever. The one you have when you know that nothing can go wrong at 36. Well, it only took 3 little words to dim my light. I felt like I was jumped in a game, given these colors, the color pink. I soon learned there was nothing pretty in pink. Managing the ebbs and flows after a breast cancer diagnosis was never ending. Our life together was just beginning, but we had no future in sight. I'm now standing here in my chemo glow, willing to share my moments, because I soon learned that the glow doesn't define me. I define the glow. Hi guys, welcome to Chemo Glow, where the glow doesn't define me, I define the glow. That intro still gets me. It still gets me after 13 years. The glow doesn't define me, I define the glow is so true. But tonight, our glow is going to be brighter than ever because I need you to subscribe. I need you to hit that like button. If you are watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button so you know when we're coming back on. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching from Facebook, it's listed as The Chemo Glow. Make sure you like, share. If you're on Instagram, we're at Chemo Glow. You can find us on any platform. We are still on Twitter. Yes, we are. So you can find us even on Twitter. And if you would like to look us up somewhere else, just go to chemoglow.com. You'll find our website, which we are updating at this moment. And if you want to share your glow with me, reach out to me on chemoglow@gmail.com. I have been in these pink streets doing a whole lot of stuff. And my first stop in these pink streets was at Pfizer in Sanford. I was asked to be part of a panel. I was there with the American Cancer Society. They had scientists out there, they had doctors out there. We actually took a tour of the whole entire plant. It was actually amazing because they're talking about new treatments that are coming out for lung cancer and breast cancer. So American Cancer Society, I definitely want to thank you for having me come out and be a panelist. Next in these pink streets, I was at Lenovo. They were having their rally. So their breast cancer awareness rally, because we have a walk coming up October 26th, making strides against breast cancer. It'll be at the Durham Bulls Athletic Park. So this time, your girl wore a pink dress. You know how I feel about pink, but I had that pink on because I understand the power of pink. I jumped off that stage and did my Oprah Winfrey and talked to the people in the audience because I wanted to know what their why was. Why are you wearing pink? What is the purpose? What are you doing? What is your glow up? So I love going to Lenovo. It was so much fun. And Tammy invited me there. And Tammy is actually going to be our guest next week. Tammy Marsicola, she is the Senior Development Manager. She will be joining us talking about the campaign, Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. So I'll let her talk more about it because we have a lot going on. So make sure you join us next week at 8 o'clock to see her chat about making strides against breast cancer. And the last place that I went was the Governor's Club in Chapel Hill. I do not know if you guys have ever been to the Governor's Club, but Healing Pines Respite actually did their first golf classic out there. And I decided that I would go ahead and sponsor a tee. It was so worth it. The donation was so worth it. And I was so glad that I was able to invite my girl Kay, She's the one that colored this hair right here. You know her as my famous hairstylist. She and her husband actually played, and they played, and it was a great time had by all. So that was a wonderful, wonderful experience. I'm so happy that I was able to go out there. My last stop for this week is my Carolina. I am joining them again. Last year I was there. What a difference a year makes. A sister has lost just a little bit of weight. So let's see what I wear on Friday. I have no idea when there will be taping, but these pink streets are real. And from here, I want to make sure that I talk about someone that actually taught me the power of pink. She was actually the first person on my podcast. So let me get a little drum roll here because I want to congratulate my girl, my friend, Miss Talanya. Yes, congratulations, 2024 Pink Lady, Miss Talanya. It is the 6th annual Pink Awards. This is in the Georgia area. It is an iconic event that brings breast cancer awareness and Black excellence to the center stage. During this event, they're going to be talking about a lot of influencers, and she influenced me. She is a celebrity in her own right. She advocates for wellness and she brings people together to celebrate life and strength. I absolutely love this survivor right here. She definitely knows how to wear the power of pink. And now, for all you guys that are watching and tuning in, we're about to talk to someone that I have never seen before until today. Like face to face, we've been trying to do these things coming together, but it was because of the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer event last year that I met this lovely lady. So, the day in the life of Miss Mckenzie Johnson. Come on in, Miss Mckenzie.
Hey y'all. Hey.
Hey.
I am super nervous. This is the first thing for me.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm happy to be here. So
I'm
thank you.
so happy to have you. Well, let's talk about like the initial phone call. Let's break it in slowly.
Yeah.
So, I was actually on the stage at the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer event, and Richard is part of American Cancer Society. He actually gave me a call and said, "Hey, it was after the event. I have someone I want you to talk to, but here's her husband's number. I need you to call him first because I don't know if she's ready to talk. So if you can call her." And I'm like, okay. Normally I say, hey, honey, can you call this person that needs support? But he actually gave me your husband's number. I called and I was like, hi, my name is so and so. And he said, hold on. Jason said, hold on. I need you to talk to someone. And I remember him saying, here, talk to her. And
Yeah.
that was our initial introduction, was that. And when you got her on the phone with me, what did you think?
I was like, okay, here we go. But it was somebody who I could resonate with because you had breast cancer and I have breast cancer. So I was like, okay, nobody's going to understand it like Regina. So,
Well,
yep.
I appreciate you taking that phone call and actually speaking to me. Well, let's just talk a little bit about your journey, your story, and how it began.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
when were you diagnosed?
So I had my baby September 2nd of 2023.
Hmm.
Meridian May is her name. So
Oh,
precious. She's one now. But had her September 2nd of 2023. And then at my 6-week checkup, my OBGYN, the routine breast exam, making sure everything was good, felt the mass in my breast. Now, I feel like that mass had been there, honestly, since I had my 5-year-old back in 2019.
really?
Yeah. Because me and my husband would talk about it, like, oh, is that normal? I'm like, yeah, like it don't hurt. There's no, burning sensation, nothing. Like I felt normal. I wasn't tired, or so I thought. I'm gonna add a little bit more to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so 6-week checkup, she found it. She was like, hey, it could probably be like a clogged milk duct. Let's get it checked out. I was like, all right, cool. Literally like 2 days later, like I got a ultrasound.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember looking at the lady's face, and she was like, yeah, it has some ridges on it. Looks a little funky. Let's go get a biopsy. Boom. Next day, UNC Rex, Blue Ridge Road, like they sent me to get a biopsy on it. And then they took a chunk of the tumor and then the chunk of my lymph node. And
Mm-hmm.
within like 30 minutes, the doctor comes back and she's like, yeah, it's malignant. And like I freaked out.
And how old were you at the time?
36.
36. As
Yeah.
I was 36 when I was diagnosed. They were saying that, "Oh, you're too young. It looks like a bunch of calcifications." And then
Yeah.
all of
Uh-huh.
a sudden it's like, no, it's cancer. Well,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do with that? So I
Yeah.
want you to back up a little bit.
Hmm.
When was your first mammogram? Was that your first mammogram, or and they did an ultrasound first or a mammogram? Which
They
one
did
was?
an ultrasound first to look
Mm-hmm.
at the actual mass, and then they sent me for the mammogram. After the mammogram, I got the biopsy. So it was the same day in the same
Same
appointment.
day, same day.
Yeah.
And when you had your first child, you
Hmm.
felt as if something was there. Did you ever get it checked out at that time?
No, because I was still going to my OBGYN every year for my annual. So I guess I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't blame my doctor whatsoever. She's
Yeah.
amazing. But yeah, like I felt like it was always there. So I could have honestly just been chilling with breast cancer since even before I had my first child. I
Yeah.
mean, we'll never know, but
Yeah.
yeah. So after the biopsy and everything, they're like, yeah, it's malignant. And I remember on the mammogram, like seeing the mass, I'm like, dang, like it's huge. Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, like this has been growing in me for this long. I don't know how long, but it was big. It was just this white mass in my left breast.
Mhm.
So at first, I met with a surgical oncologist. Her name was Dr. Dole at
Uh-huh.
UNC. And, I was stage 2A at that point.
Mm.
Now, this is before they did my scan, though. So,
Okay. So they staged you at 2A
yeah.
before they did your scan, and you
Mhm.
were with in the UNC network.
Yeah. And so after that, a few weeks went by. About 2 days after I met with Dr. Dole, my back started hurting. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, this is very strange. Like maybe I'm just stressed out because a lot of stress going on. Again, new baby, I just got told I had cancer. So I'm like, oh my God, what's going on in my body? Let me just take it easy. So I was resting. I wasn't doing my normal stuff because I was like, yeah, my back, like I don't know what's going on. And then my friend Annie came to visit me because she had breast cancer. She's in remission now for almost 2 years.
Mhm.
Um, but she came and gave me like all this pink stuff, the bag, breast cancer bag, the pens, the notebook, journal, Tylenol, all of that there. And I was like, Annie, like when you were diagnosed, like, did your back hurt? She was like, nah, my back
Yeah.
didn't hurt. You might want to get that checked out. So fast forward, maybe like a week later, my husband goes out of town. So I'm taking care of the girls. I go and put my baby in the car because I had to take my then 4-year old to school or whatever. And I twist a certain way. And, I'm thinking, dang, like, I'm doing all these movements and my back was feeling worse after that. So then, like that next week was my scan, I believe. Either that next week or 2 weeks. Anyway,
Yeah.
got the scan, had a spine.
Mhm.
It was a cancerous tumor. So the cancer had spread at that point. And that is
Wow.
when, so even before we found out it was tumor, I got the call that it was stage 4 from
Yeah.
the Dr. Dole, who was a surgical oncologist. And she was like, hey, unfortunately, it's stage 4. And that's all I heard. And then I just dropped the phone and I lost it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything else after that because all I'm thinking in my mind, I'm about to die.
So people don't know that the stages are like 1A, 1B, 2A,
Mm-hmm.
2B. And then you get the phone call and you have the pain and
Yeah.
you're putting all this stuff together.
Uh-huh.
And now you're at stage 4
Stage 4, the big
with
kahuna.
with a 4-year-old at the time.
4-year old and a 1 month, almost 2 month old. Yeah.
Almost 2 months old. And let me just back up a little bit more. What were you doing in your life before this actually happened? Like, how was your life? What did you do? What do you
Um,
do for work? What was life like before you got? all of this
Yeah.
bad news.
So to go back to what I said before, like I hadn't been tired or anything, but I probably would have never known because I worked third shift. So what I do for my main job, I'm a EAP counselor. So I
Hmm.
work for a big company here based out of Raleigh. And I worked overnight. So my shift was 8:30 at night to like 6 a.m. 4 days
Yeah.
a week, 10-hour shifts. And I had been doing that since 2018.
Yeah. Your body was used to that night shift.
So me being tired, me feeling pain in my body, normal.
Hmm.
Because third shift, like my
Yeah.
circadian rhythms off. And then at the time, my when I started third shift, my baby was like Micah, my 5-year-old now, she was a baby. So sometimes I would get off work and just take care of her throughout the day. Like I wouldn't sleep.
Hmm.
So I don't know if that added to the cancer or what. Again, I go through all these different thoughts in my head. Well, what if I never worked third shift or what if I, so anyway, but yeah, so on top of that being my main job, I'm also a therapist.
Hmm.
And I started my own practice in 2020. And that's been going good thus far. But I work a lot. So
Yeah.
that's just me. Like I work, take care of my kids. I like to cook.
Yeah.
I love to travel. I love to gamble. I go to Vegas every year. And yeah, like I was just chilling, being a mom, doing my own thing, really. And then boom, like yeah, stage 4 cancer. And it's one of those things that you really think about, like it could be you. Like
Yeah.
you never know. Like don't ever think it can't be you.
Yeah. I was planning my wedding at 36, and
Yeah.
I went in and everything changed. Like everything's changed. And not only does it change as a mom, it changes as a wife, it
Oh my
changes as a
God.
friend.
Mm.
I don't know if you ever experienced snowflakes. I call them snowflakes. Those
What's
are the
that?
ones that I thought were going to be here that are
Yeah,
no
what?
longer here.
Yeah, I would say a couple people, absolutely. But they're where they need to be. I'm where I need to
There,
be.
there you go. And being a therapist, having to talk through other people's problems, now you have to talk to someone else or confide in someone else. And I was just so thankful that we started chatting, just having little conversations.
Yeah.
I would just call and it would be a conversation about this, and I'll call, and it'll be at different times of the day when I was
Mhm.
thinking about you. And you would reach out and you would text me, because everybody, when you hear the C word, I could
Mhm.
say, okay, I've gone through it. I'm one of your fellow sisters in pink, which I just seen came up on the screen. It doesn't mean that I understand.
Mhm.
Even when you were asking your friend Annie, hey, did your back hurt? Did you
Yeah.
have this going on? Those unanswered questions definitely play a part in your psyche.
Oh, yeah,
So,
for
mentally,
sure.
physically, spiritually, emotionally, tell me how you handled all that, because it's like a brewing storm.
I didn't. Like,
Mm.
it's almost a year now, and, like, I'm just now able to freely talk about it because I've been in denial. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's rough. It's
Yeah.
really rough. Like, I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, "Why me? Like, what did I do?
Mhm.
What did I
Mhm.
do to deserve this?"
And
So
when you're saying those things, I don't know about you, but for me, people were used to say, "Well, you can't worry and pray at the same time." Who can? Um, Let me cut your tatas off, and then we can have a conversation. Let me let you wake up
right,
with these
exactly.
brains, and let me let you deal with this hair, this pain, these
Yeah.
kids.
Easy for you
So
to say. Yeah, so true.
it's
Yeah.
really, really true. It doesn't mean that you're not thinking that you can't get through on some days, but some days it's just real. And on those days, I like how you said I didn't.
Yeah.
And
I
to
just tucked it away. I
yeah,
compartmentalize a lot just to get
yeah.
through life. I think a lot of people do. Um,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it's been rough. But yeah, I'm glad I'm here now and I'm able to
Yeah.
talk about it without crying or without getting upset.
Mhm.
Because it's very triggering. Like I woke up this morning just in a great mood, open Instagram, and there's like this guy. I think his name's like London something. Anyway, he's a Super Bowl Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
and his wife passed away from breast cancer. And I'm like, oh, What a great way to start my day.
Start your day. Uh,
Yeah.
my family member used to call me and tell me that so and so just died of cancer. Finally, I said, "Don't call me again. Don't call me again."
Like, why would you
And
think that was okay to say?
because remember they're just trying to find things to talk about. And now they scared to call me. But my person Talanya, she was like, I was angry.
Mm,
I was angry, and she paid no attention to me. I didn't know her from a can of paint. I went to
uh-huh.
a support group. That support group was not the group for me at that time, but she was my person.
Mhm.
So I was like all over the place, mad, and all this stuff going on. New city, wanted to start a baby, and everybody in that certain support group was older than me, except for Talanya. She was still in that age range. So I
Mhm.
do think Valerie worthy for putting us together, because sometimes you just need that person to be able to say whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people are not going to like what you have to say, but it is your story. And they're like,
Absolutely.
the new normal. And I'm like, this new normal sucks. I was okay with my old.
Yeah, give it back.
Give it back. I
Yeah,
want it back.
let me go back. Let me go back. And it's also one of those things too. And I know people don't mean it to be mean, but like some things people say, it's like, yeah, like why would you say that?
Yeah. Hmm.
Like, yeah, it's crazy, but I think people for the most part are just trying to be supportive, and I get it, but
Yeah.
it's different when you're in the actual situation.
And you were diagnosed in the month of October.
Sure was breast cancer awareness month. Yep,
So it was pink
the
vomit
irony.
everywhere.
Yeah, and to be real with you, you were talking about the color pink.
Hmm.
Pink triggers me, honestly.
Yeah.
And no offense, with
Hmm.
everything. I understand the power there's power in pink. But I was on a cruise this past weekend and people were getting off the boat and this looked like a dad and son had on like a pink shirt or whatever with the ribbon. And I was like, oh, I just got reminded that I have cancer yet
Hmm.
again. Because sometimes I want to go days without knowing or thinking about the fact that I have cancer, but there's always some reminder that I have it.
Yeah.
I'm
And
working through it.
I had a friend who she always said when she went on vacation, she always felt like there was no more cancer. At that
Yeah.
point, when she's on vacation somewhere in another country, she always felt good. And then when she stepped back here,
Hmm.
it felt as if I'm back in this.
Yeah.
So you said it's been a year, and now you're able to talk about it. What are
Yeah.
some things that you've been doing to strive to be in this better place?
A lot of prayer.
Hmm.
Um, I talk to my husband a lot
Okay.
about it, and I talk to my parents. I talk to my friend Annie because
Yes.
she's been through it herself, and just a lot of reflection,
Hmm.
a lot of doing what I tell my clients to do, a lot of reframing things, a lot of focusing on the positive. Because I used to complain when I went to chemo. I used to be like, dang, I gotta take time out of my schedule to go to chemo. Like I just can't have normal lives like other 37-year-olds. But then it's like, you have health insurance. You can go, you can go to chemo. You
Hmm.
don't have to pay anything to go to chemo.
Yeah.
You have a car to go to chemo. You have a husband who will go with you.
To
You
chemo.
have the means to go. So you have to just pose everything like that in order
Mhm.
to, yeah, first day. Yep, first day. That was me.
That
Um,
was you.
See, I wish I smiled like that, like consistently when I went to chemo, but it wasn't
Uh-huh.
the case. And like, I'm gonna just keep it real. Some days I go in there and I was just straight mad. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why am I here?
Yeah. And look at that smile.
Yeah.
I mean, having that smile, going through that treatment. You said prayer.
Yes.
And you mentioned your husband.
Uh-huh.
People don't understand when you're going through cancer, your family is
Hmm.
actually being affected by some of the things that you are going
Hmm.
through, or all of the things. Can you talk about that relationship and how that, two new kids, he's working, you're working, and boom, cancer. How did that affect you?
Oh, I didn't hear that last part, Regina. Repeat it for me. You cut
So,
out there for a little bit.
how did it affect your husband and your relationship when you are going through cancer and you got that diagnosis? He heard those same words. How did that work out? How did you guys work through
Ooh,
that and still working through it?
mm. Marriages are not perfect. I don't know anybody's marriage who is perfect.
Mhm.
We had issues even before I got cancer. So the cancer was just like razzle dazzle.
Mhm.
But I remember when Dr. Dole called and told me I was stage 4, dropped the phone and everything. He took the phone. He
Mhm.
started crying. Both of his parents passed away from cancer.
Mm.
So all he thought, because it's in my bones, it's in my liver, all he thought at that point was that I had bone cancer and liver cancer.
Yeah.
So he was freaking out.
Mhm.
He still does freak out, but he has been consistently supportive throughout this process. We are in couples counseling. He is
Mhm.
in individual counseling, and I'm in individual counseling because there's just so much stuff to just power through. Um, on top of me having cancer, he's an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
So that's oh Lord, that's a whole nother
That's a whole
whole
nother
nother
thing,
ball
right?
game right there. But again, like he's been consistent. He has tried his best to say things that to sometimes make light of the situation.
Mhm.
It can be a hit or miss sometimes, but
Yes.
I let
I've
him know
been
when
there.
it is a miss, and he
Mhm.
course corrects. And yeah, but he's amazing, and I'm very appreciative to have him as my husband.
I like the fact that you said, "Look, there's bumps in the road. Nothing's perfect." And then if you put that on top
Yeah,
of everything, and I like the fact that you guys are both going through counseling and then
mhm,
individual counseling and then being a therapist and
yeah,
actually doing those things as well. Like you got to practice what you preach now.
yeah. I sure do. I absolutely do.
Now you talked about your friend Annie,
Annie,
right?
Annie Shaw,
Annie. And that's crazy. That's my mother's name. And Annie is very close to you. And at this time, I know it's her story to tell, but I wanted to make sure that you said a little bit about what's going on with her and her needs, because maybe we can help her while we're live on the show and possibly afterwards.
Yeah, so and Annie, don't get mad at me if I mess this up, okay? Because I'm gonna do my best. But Annie had a stage 3 triple negative. She's in remission now, been almost 2 years. But there were complications that arose out of that diagnosis. And I know I told you earlier, Regina, that she had sarcoidosis, but it's Sjogren's
Okay.
syndrome. And I think, don't quote me, I should have Googled it before, but I think it's like when your tear ducts or whatever don't work properly, like
Mm-hmm.
dry mouth, all of that. Um, and yeah, so she's having to deal with that. She's on oxygen now. She's having
Mm-hmm.
lung issues. So a lot of support is needed. She's waiting on her disability
Mm-hmm.
to kick in. They still haven't approved it. So I don't know if you do know, but North Carolina and I'm sure other states, the disability waiting period is crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
And bills still have to be paid.
you
Um,
right. You
and
sure
she has
know.
she has children.
Yeah, well, she has a son who just started college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
so on top of that, you still got to figure out what's going on.
yeah. Hmm.
And with that, we always want to make sure
There she goes.
that we help
Hmm.
other people who are going through.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you're looking at this, and we'll also put it in our comment section, to go through breast cancer and to put something else on top of that,
Yeah.
and your mother,
Hmm.
and you're supporting and you're working for waiting for a disability to come in. There's so many things going on in your life, and your
Yeah.
life has changed. So Annie, if there's anything that I can do, she's also selling her shirts
Hmm.
in support of. It is such important for us to support all the people that we touch, because if I didn't have my person, I wouldn't be able to get through this.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that I do give a shout out to Annie. I want to make sure that, guys, if you see this, go and support. Everything helps.
Please, please
Everything
do.
helps. And to see another friend go through and she's still supporting you.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's very supportive. Very, very supportive. Like when I go ghost, she'll text me like, Mckenzie, what's going on?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even through what she's going through, she still shows up for me as a friend. And I'm very blessed to have her.
And that is
Like,
such a beautiful thing. It looks like you got quite a few friends on from all different places.
yeah.
I
Hey y'all.
absolutely love it. I see Annie is on. I see Mimi has stepped in, Lynetta. All these folks are in here, shouting you out and supporting you
Hmm.
in your everybody likes to use the word journey. Not my favorite word, but I get it.
Yeah.
Um, in this, what is the hardest lesson that you have learned as a mother? Because you have two girls.
Ooh.
And at this time, are they? Do they know? Does Micah know that mommy's not feeling well? Does she have an idea what's going on now?
So I'm very blessed to not have been in much, I'm gonna say any pain really. Like every now and then, yeah. But since like February of this year, like I've been cool. Like no really days in bed. Um, yeah, just life working 40 hours, 40 plus a week, spending time with Micah and them. But yeah, Micah, she knows, she sees my port. She
Mm-hmm.
knows when I go for chemo. She doesn't like cry or anything. I don't let like even if I'm not feeling, I don't like let her see me not feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't let her. Now, one thing I will say about her though, she gonna let somebody know I got a wig on. We'll
Mm,
be in public. So when she's like, Mom, you have such a nice wig on, like, baby, don't much. Now everybody need to know. Like, yeah, she puts me on blast, but she's super smart, super intelligent, super caring. She tells me all the time how much she loves me. She'll give me hugs and kisses just randomly. And my 1-year-old, she don't care. She gonna turn up. It's time to eat. She want to eat. When it's time to play, she wants to play. And it is what it is. But yeah, powering through motherhood. I think the hardest lesson that I've had to learn is that I need to sit down sometimes.
when I call you, I'll be like, I'm gonna need you to sit all the way down, take
Yeah, I have
two
a hard
seats.
time doing that. It's just not in my blood to sit down.
Mhm,
Like I don't know. I'm a military brat. Um,
mhm.
so yeah, like our work ethic is just like, it's there. So when I do sit down, I'm like, oh, I should probably be doing something.
Even when you're sitting down, when I call you,
Yeah.
you still moving around. I was like, "Are you cleaning?"
Yeah,
Sit
probably.
down.
Like if I'm not cleaning, I'm organizing something, or I'm like typing something, or I'm, cooking. I just try to keep busy. Just try to
Well,
keep busy.
what does your treatment now look like? Because stage 4, which means that you're still
Yeah.
continuing treatment, what does that look like?
So I am. So at first I started doing chemo weekly, um,
Mhm,
and then like because of quality of life, my oncologist. This was maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. I switched to every other. No, not every other week. 2 weeks on, 1 week off, just to let
mhm.
my body recoup. The biggest thing right now, as far as side effects from my treatment, is my fingertips. Like they get
Oh, I
numb or
see.
whatever. And then I got chemo acne, and
Mhm.
then hot flashes. Oh
Oh,
my God.
at 36, 37, having
Yes,
hot flashes, let me tell you.
because I am on estrogen blockers.
Mhm,
So it sent me into early menopause, and that,
mhm,
oh my God, hot flashes. Oh my goodness. I feel so bad because I used to make fun of my mom when she
mhm.
would have hot. Like, it ain't that hot.
Yeah,
Oh, but it is.
but it is. That
It's
personal
absolutely
summer
hot.
is something else.
Yeah. So I'm on this medicine called letrozole. I
Mhm.
take that daily. I was on tamoxifen, but the letrozole has like less side effects apparently.
Yeah.
And then Taxol, and then Phesgo, which is a combination of, ooh, don't give me the line, Herceptin and Trazimab, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's
Mhm.
a shot that I get every 3 weeks. Um, so yeah, it's kept everything from not growing, I guess, but I still do have tumors in my liver. They're continuing to shrink.
Mm-hmm.
There's no evidence of cancer in my bones right now, which is good.
Mm. Yes.
Hasn't spread anywhere else, and my next scan is in November. So treatment's working.
Treatment's working. And you were talking about quality of life.
Yeah.
Explain that to our listeners. What do you mean? Like for me, I was supposed to get 12 rounds of chemo. I could not do it. I think we stopped at 8. I couldn't button up my clothes. I couldn't do like my whole life. And my husband, when we went to the doctor, he was just like, she's not going to tell you because I'm like you. I won't sit down.
Yeah.
Even though I'm talking junk, I'm probably cleaning. But I couldn't. I didn't have any quality of life. And some people were like,
Mm.
"You need to keep pushing through. You need to keep doing."
Mhm.
I can't even button up my clothes,
Oh
and I
my
can't
goodness.
even walk, and all these things are
Oh,
going on. And I was so happy that my doctor said, "Quality of life. You want to be able to
yeah.
live and actually breathe, and
Yeah.
actually be a person again because you don't feel like that."
Right.
So explain to me a little bit about your quality of life.
So, with quality of life, it's just important to, and I don't want to sound morbid when I say this, but as
No, it's
long as
fine.
you're living, like you want to be able to live. Like you don't want
Yeah.
to be in bed, you don't want to be in pain. Like that's not cool. You Some of us, got to work and take care of kids and everything. So yeah, you want to be able to do your daily functioning. Luckily for me, again, I've only experienced pain for maybe about a month or so, maybe even 2 months after starting chemo.
Mhm.
Um, but the biggest thing that I've experienced, or the most painful thing I've experienced throughout the whole process, was radiation. Um,
Mm.
so that tumor that was on my spine, I had to go through 12 rounds of radiation, and the way that the tumor was on my spine, the radiation had to go through my esophagus. So I couldn't eat. It was
Mm.
it was like razor blades, swallowing razor blades, pretty much.
Yeah.
I lost 11 pounds, and I'm already skinny and lanky,
Mhm.
so that wasn't fun. So if I had to, continue on with that, of course, speaking of quality of life, I wouldn't have had any.
Yeah.
So luckily, it was only 12.
And 12 rounds of radiation on top of chemotherapy,
But
on
it gives you
top
2
of
weeks on, 1 week off, and,
Mhm.
the numbness and stuff is still there, but it's not getting worse because I'm
Mhm.
using my ice. I fought that for a very long time, the ice, because it's just very uncomfortable, but I use it
Mhm.
now.
Yes, thank
And it's
you.
just, you're welcome. And I stabilized, the numbness for now, but, yeah, hopefully, treatment continues going good. Again, my next scan is in November. Hopefully it hasn't spread anywhere else. But, as far as my mindset now, if it has, okay, there's medicine out there, luckily, for
Mhm.
HER2 positive, and I'll do
Yes.
whatever it takes. I'm gonna be here for as long as I need to be here for. And if God says it's my time, then it's my time. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So
Oh, I love that. I love that. And you're actually going to be our speaker for the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. You're going to
yeah.
be our Thriver speaker, and I cannot wait for that. And it's so funny that Richard actually called me when I was on the stage, and now I get to introduce you from the
Yeah.
stage that he
Full
thought
circle.
full circle.
Mhm.
And this is why I continue to do it.
Yeah.
If I can touch one person because someone helped me, then that's exactly what I want to do. I want to
Yeah.
get out there. I want to use my voice and I want to talk about the resources that are out there because it's going to be a great event out there. And you
Mhm.
never know who you will touch when you get on that
Yeah.
stage and speak. So I can't wait for you to come out and definitely talk to us. But before we go, you have 2 beautiful girls.
Mhm.
One's a Virgo, I heard that. So
Yes, she
she's amazing because I just turned 50 on September 22nd. So I already know she's amazing. You have your 2 girls, you have your husband, you have your practice. Your husband is doing his thing. Life keeps going on.
Mhm.
On those days where you feel like it's a little hard, what are some of the things that, you can share with other people who are going through, um, to help them just have a little light shine?
Ooh, first, go outside. Go outside, no phone, no music, no nothing. Just go outside and just look at the trees, take
Mhm.
some breaths, and just realize that you're still alive.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, breathing is what makes you be alive. Like, it's not cancer, like it's not nothing else. As long as you have breath in your body, you are alive. So you have to
Yeah.
focus on that. And also just take things day by day. Don't borrow trouble from tomorrow, as my mom
Mm,
said.
mm.
Take it day by day. You know, focus on the positive things that you have going on. I know life be lifing, but you know, there's got to be at least one positive thing you can focus on. So do that, and yeah, just focus on yourself too. Self
Yeah.
care is very, very important. Even
Yes.
when you have kids, like you got to take care of yourself because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your children.
Yeah, it's so true. So many people are saying like, Mike Murray, silence is wonderful. When
Hmm.
you can find that silence, and it's just the key. And you have so many, again, friends that love you, that support you, and the quality of life is so important. Because if you're not feeling your best, how can you feel for other people? You
Right.
know, people are saying, that's my twin sister saying, you have such a beautiful soul. You have Miss Edwards out here who just loves you. um I am so happy that I was the first person that you allowed to tell your story. I
Hmm.
know you're actually on Instagram. Instagram or
I'm
TikTok?
on Insta. I didn't give you my Instagram, but I do have Instagram.
Okay.
My Instagram tagline super long, but I am on there though. But
You're
my
on there.
TikTok, I'm gonna start like putting some stuff out on TikTok just to motivate other women, especially
Yes.
younger women my age. Because I started like this little group chat, and I
Uh-huh.
invited two other young women from TikTok. We actually met on TikTok, and they both have
Hmm.
stage 4 as well. Like one of them just turned 30, and I'm like, wow, like that's crazy. So yeah, we talk pretty much every day.
And give me your TikTok again. I had it
My
up here.
TikTok is a day in the life 15.
15.
Mm-hmm.
All right, day in the life 15.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, please make sure you follow her on TikTok, Sharon Twin. Go ahead and follow her on TikTok for me because I don't have a TikTok just yet. But
You need to
um,
get one. It
I
is
know,
everything.
I know, I need to get this TikTok.
Yes.
Um, I just want to thank you, and one day soon, because
Yes.
that's another thing. When you say you're gonna do something, go ahead and do it.
Mm-hmm.
When I was talking to you, um and we were talking about getting together, and we hadn't made it there just yet, but we kept that conversation going. And when I said, hey, would you be a guest on my show, and you're like, yep, but I'm going on a cruise.
Yeah.
And
That's
you
why I'm
almost
like,
got
oh,
stuck in Florida. uh,
yeah.
yeah, so you just got back last night.
I did, and it was crazy. Oh, my husband, bless his heart, he got a lot going on. We were supposed to leave Monday, so we thought we get the 5-year-old together. She over there whining because she want to get back on the ship. I'm like, no, we can't get back on the ship. 1-year-old crying, like yelling, screaming. I'm like, look, let's leave this hotel. Let's go to the airport. Baby gonna sleep on the plane. Get Micah some fries. We'll be good. Get to the counter, sir. You don't leave till tomorrow. Excuse me? So then in my mind, I'm like, okay, positivity, positivity, positivity. Mckenzie, don't go off on him. Show him grace. If it was you, he would show you grace. So I did a whole woosah,
Hmm.
got an Uber to my parents' house. They live in Lakeland, but it took about an hour from the airport.
Uh-huh.
And I just focused on the fact that I got to spend extra time with my parents before this hurricane. And they
Hmm.
got to spend extra time with their grandkids. And we made it back yesterday evening, and everything's good to go now.
And you jumped on here.
I did. I did.
I appreciate it. We wish, like, we know that the hurricane is coming through. We
Yeah.
wish everybody well wishes. So yeah, it's a lot. And someone says for husbands everywhere, thank you.
Yes. I showed him Grace because I was in my mind, I was like, how, like, why did he look? He could have done this. And she's like, he got me over here with these kids. They're over here hungry. I'm tired. We've been going all day. I got time
Yeah,
for that. So
and,
it
but
all
just
worked out.
and it all worked out. But just like I do not want to choke him out in this
Yeah, exactly.
in this airport
Hmm.
with these two kids, and I have twins, so
Yeah.
they're very special. I love them. They're wonderful people. Well, guys, does anybody have any questions? Because I want to make sure that I think we have put almost every comment up here. But so many people, again, they're so proud of you for navigating through this and the bumps in the road. Because to hear those words that you have cancer, it's
Yeah.
very devastating. And then people don't understand the power of prayer. It does work. So I'm so happy
Mhm.
that you have your circle and your people. And I just want to thank you again for blessing me to
Thank you
continue
for blessing me. Thank you for having me out here. I'm honored.
continue to be who you are. And I can't wait to see you on October 26th.
Mhm.
I'm hoping that I will see you before then,
You
and we're going
will.
to get together. And again, life keeps life. And so we have to keep
Yeah,
doing.
you do.
So thank you so much, Miss Mckenzie. I am so happy. Um, like Mimi says, you are so amazing to so many people.
Thank you, Mimi.
You never, and she's out of the Baltimore, DC area. So you have people from all over. Just happy to hear your story and so happy for you to be here. Is there anything else that you would like to say? But we need to put that GoFundMe up real quick for
Yes,
Miss
please.
Annie before we leave here. Let me make sure. Here it is. Guys, if you would like to give, please make sure you go and support Annie. Just
Yes,
happened to
please.
be my mother's first name. And I tried to buy the t-shirt. Somehow I clicked on 5 out t-shirts at one time and it wouldn't let me click
Oh,
back. So I gotta go back. I meant to
you
ask you
know
about
what? She said that there's something going on with the website. So I think,
yeah.
yeah,
So
if she can, if she wants, I don't know if she's in the
oh,
comments. We
I'm
drop
gonna end up
the
I'm
information.
end up calling Annie. It's already going down. So when I
Yeah,
get off,
yeah.
Annie, I will
Get
be
those shirts going.
getting your number from Mckenzie. I would love to hear your story as well, but I also want to make sure that I donate. So guys,
Yeah.
you'll see it on our website. We'll also link it to our YouTube. So please make sure you go out there and you support everybody. Mckenzie, you have anything else to add?
I do not. Thank y'all for tuning in. Be sure to
And
follow my TikTok. Some videos coming up there too. So
yes, we're going to encourage that and make sure you come back and tell us how it's going. So,
for
Mckenzie,
sure.
again, thank you again for sharing. Just go ahead and stay in our backstage and we'll chat in a little bit. But I
Okay.
want to say thank you to everyone who has jumped on and gave us so much love. You never know who you're going to touch. So many blessings tonight, so many people. Like I told you, Talanya was my person, and through her, I have been other people's. And it's just a beautiful thing. Um, Breast cancer ain't no joke. Hearing those words that you have cancer, it's so much that goes on. So I want to thank y'all for supporting my channel, support Mckenzie, and make sure you check out her TikTok. And remember to support Miss Annie as well. Guys, thank you. I'll see you next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Tammy Marsicola with Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. And please remember that the glow doesn't define me, I define the glow. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.